Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, I want to welcome you all to the Getting Naked podcast. Yes, Getting Naked, where we keep it real, we keep it raw, and we keep it funny as AF. And today we have Miss Katherine Carter and we have Nathaniel Scott. You guys know him as Coolaidnate, so be ready for that. Miss Katherine is a lady of 4 children. She's a school teacher. She worked in a call center. She has her business degree, her psychology degree in human resources, and a minor in computer. So the lady's smart, right?
Mr. Coolaidnate, also known as Nathaniel Scott, is simply amazing. First of all, you guys would not know by looking at him that he's 70 years old and he is rocking it. And what we mean by rocking it is that he is not going to just lay down and take the punches like other people might. No. He's going to go out there and live his life like he is 20 years old. So he's an inspiring author, soon to publish his first book. We're so excited. We're going to talk about
Coolaidnate.
Yeah, we're going to talk about that tonight. He's also a truck driver. He has been doing that for over 40 years. And he actually shares about that journey in his book. So you want to definitely go out there. And the great thing about this is he is a father. He's obviously an amazing partner and friend. So welcome to our show, you guys. We appreciate you being here. And at the end of the day, share a little bit more about yourself, Katherine, that we might not have covered.
Wow. I have a beautiful, beautiful Shih Tzu named Snuggles that's been my friend for 9.5 years. I can't go anywhere without him. He's a sweetheart. Matter of fact, Nate and I were married when we got him. So he's kind of his father too.
How's the pappy?
It's the pappy.
Yeah.
And tell us a little more about yourself that we might not have shared right now.
Okay, I got a few good ones for you. I'm trying to learn how to play the guitar. I've been trying to learn for years and I'm nowhere with it, but I can do some little stuff. You know, I can kind of remind you of a beat, say, hey, I think I know that one, you know, that kind of thing, you know. Other than that, I just, like you say, I wrote a book, but you already know about that. But some of the adventures in my book, I don't want to spoil it, but I have been into places like driving tractor trailers inside of caves, totally submerged in caves, right? Different things like that. You know, you're gonna. I drove past the Grand Canyon, drove past that bad boy. Went cross country multiple times, so just about all of the major interstates I know, right? From without even using a map. It's the side roads that I have problems with. Other than that, I guess I'm just a truck driver.
You're not just a truck driver, you're an
amazing
amazing human being.
No.
Indeed.
After being in the truck with him for 4 months, I give him his kudos on truck driving. He is one of the best truck drivers. Yes. He can get in and out of spots that other people are afraid of.
I love it. So that leads me to my first question. How did you two meet?
Yeah.
We met online, believe it or not, and we live in the same city.
What? Hold on, time out. Y'all met online and y'all lived in the same city?
Yes.
Tell more. Tell more.
You want to take that?
I'll give it a shot. Okay, I was online and I was actually looking for a mate. I was looking for my rib, right? And I came across a screen name of Honey Bear 777, right? Okay, now Honey Bear right there got my attention. That got my attention there, Honey Bear. But then 777 biblically, that's the number of completion, right? Mm-hmm. So that kind of gave me a little hint that she was into the Bible some, which was what I was looking for, so we could be equally yoked, right? So I decided to start talking to her. And next thing I know, I started visiting her. I went around and visited her, and I had a little raggedy car. She'll probably tell you about that later on. But I went and visited her, and we talked for a little while. And next thing you know, we started hanging out more and more. And after a while, it got to the place that I wasn't going home anymore. I was starting to hang around Katherine there for a while.
He came over and didn't leave.
He didn't leave his bathroom stuff everywhere, did he?
Was that?
No, he's not like that. He's really neat. Oh, really neat. Yeah.
We're not gonna name no names, but go ahead.
Thank you for that. So we just got together and the conversation was good, and we had a lot in common. We both like playing on Facebook with it was MySpace at the time. We did MySpace a lot, and we did the Farmville a lot. And what was the other one? Yoville. We did Yoville a lot. So we was hanging in that. So we'd be we'd be in the apartment, sitting side by side with our computers in front of us, right? And we're just enjoying the computers and stuff, right? Just enjoying the games and stuff like that. But our wedding was another thing. We planned it and we paid for it ourselves. We had everything set up, and we had the wedding. We had a couple of songs that kind of drew tears from my eyes, little Stevie Wonder. I'm standing there crying, and she comes walking out there. Even the pastor say he needs a hug or something. What did he say, a hug?
He said, I think he needs a hug, yeah. Because you were crying, tears were coming down your eyes and everything.
And I was sweating. I'm sweating. I got on a suit. I'm sweating and crying.
A white tux.
Yeah, right. Yeah, definitely. It was white, And we had fun, that day, but we just kind of grew closer in that. And I guess I might be moving a little too fast, but somewhere along the line, we decided to move down to Georgia, to Atlanta. You want to put anything in there, Katherine, before I go any farther than that?
Well, they asked how we met. You're giving them the whole spiel.
Okay.
I think that might have been one of our problems. I didn't know how to share, right? All right, I'll let you talk some, Katherine.
No. I said he asked how we met. I think they may have another question for us. I don't know.
Oh, okay. Yeah, we'll wait for the next question because I'm leading it on.
But we did have a beautiful wedding. We had a wonderful wedding. We had, oh my, it was a great wedding.
Yes.
We did the electric slide. Remember I taught you how to do the electric slide?
Yeah. She taught me how to do it just before the wedding. I didn't know nothing about how to do that, and she taught me how to do it. So that was fun.
It was fun.
How long did you guys date before you chose to, jump the broom?
What did we do? Meet in September. We got married in June.
Yes.
There you go.
Wow.
I love it.
So what was like the like, okay, we're getting married. Like this is it. Like he's the one.
We just started kind of, our conversations were leading in that direction. And like I said, he came over and didn't leave. So, hey, the only way I just married him. So it was so nice because one night, I forget what we were eating in that meal. I forget. We had talked about getting married and such. And one night, I forget what we had to eat. We had gone out for takeout or something. Next thing I know, down in front of me, he's down on one knee proposing to me. For that night.
Spontaneous.
I love it.
Yes. Yeah. I wasn't expecting that night. No.
Well, okay. So you guys get married, you live your life and you're together for a bit. When was it kind of like, maybe we're going to go our separate ways? When did that start turn? I know we take a drastic, we just got married and now we're already talking about.
I think that's a go food got me feeling upset. I need a refund.
Yeah. When was that turn, and maybe what was the final straw that broke the camel's back that said, we'd be better off going our separate ways?
I think
there was anything that was a last straw. I don't. Do you?
We just started drifting apart after a while. Slowly drifting apart. I guess because of my working. When she only rode with me for like about 4 months, and after that, I'm pretty much gone a lot of the times, 2 to 3 weeks at a time, and coming back home and stuff like that. And the relationship started kind of dying out. What was that face for her? Did I say something wrong?
I remember you went back to that other company that you were working with on Scottsville. But
you're talking about Metallico?
Well, I didn't know if we were supposed to mention the name.
Oh, well.
It's all right.
But I was
It was
thinking
just
about
like
when we was I was thinking about when we was down there in Atlanta, and I was
when
having
we were
trouble.
in Georgia, yeah, that
Yeah,
did,
and I was having
that
trouble
did
getting
happen.
jobs and
Yeah.
stuff. And then when I did get something
Yeah.
out there all of that time and wasn't really making the money to send home, which by the way is in the book, so
Yeah.
I wasn't really
I'm in the
making a
book,
lot
but
of
not
money.
mentioned by name, but I'm in the book.
Yes, yeah. And I mentioned her as my wife, so she rode with me. So a lot of times when we was doing that, we were separated, and we was kind of growing
You're right about
apart
that.
because
I forgot
we
about
couldn't
that.
communicate as much as we used to. Remember, we
Yeah.
had 4 months in the truck together, 24/7. When we got out the truck, we got out the truck together. When the truck took off, we was in the truck together. Pretty much like you two. We see you two all the time, right? Y'all always together. We were like that, right? We were each other's
All the
best
time
friends.
we were like that.
Yeah.
Sometimes I wish I could throw her ass out the truck.
Huh?
We don't even got a truck, and he wishes he could throw me out the truck. Don't worry.
Yeah, right.
Hey,
Right.
girl, I need to get that door fixed.
Yeah, right.
I told you not to lean on that door. I told your ass to lean on that door.
One of the things she
That's
did
right.
was kind of
You were
funny.
right. I'm sorry I made a face at you. I'm sorry. I didn't need to make a face, but I forgot about that part down in Georgia. I'm sorry. I did forget about that. Yes, that's true. That's actually when the communication breakdown did occur. Yes. Yeah.
Right.
You're right.
And
You're right.
a lot of that is in the book about the breakdown while I was driving, because one job I had down there was driving. I was driving for this local company, small company, and the owner of the company was this young girl, right? And Catherine thought I was trying to get with her. I'm not trying to get with her, and I was having a lot of problems out of that. And there was times I'm out there on the road and I can't find the load, and I'm not really sending any money home, and she was getting upset about that. So that started causing a little rift in the relationship too. We still was holding together, but that caused a little rift in it, and a little rift here, a little rift there, till finally, we decided to take different paths.
Well, after we came back to Rochester.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
I don't want to give too much of the book away, so I just said that.
Yeah, no, don't.
Yeah, exactly.
I want y'all to buy it.
Yes.
We will definitely be plugging that in here at the end and sharing a little bit more where people can get some more their free chapter and all that. But you shared something very common that I think a lot of people look past, and it's the initial communication breakdown where it starts, but a lot of times we're not aware of it as humans. And we let it go, and it builds up, and then it kind of builds into something a little bit more because we're not openly speaking about what is going on. And not saying you guys didn't, but that's kind of like the common thing. And then it leads into discussions and communications or disagreements about money, which you noted, and I think at the end of the day, Nate, we as humans, we all fall upon hard times. And, Katherine probably absolutely has had her hard times as well in life. And it's, I think the beautiful thing about this and what we shared and what we communicate to you guys when we're not on this podcast, because, we are family. And so we do communicate outside of this, is that you guys are so beautiful in the way that you've been able to transition from being, married and a couple, and then to be able to transition into a friendship. And that is really, really, really important, because I think a lot of times people don't take that on. So one question
Hold on. And I want to add on to that, you both mentioned two of the top things that a lot of people, don't understand that ruin relationships: financials and then communication. And even, with that being said, I always love to provide facts for people, because I remind people facts over feelings is that every 13 seconds, there's a divorce in America, right? There's 277 divorces every single hour, right? There's 6,647 every day. There's 46,000 a week right? And over the year, there's 2 million people that are divorced. And so I just shared that with people that, it's just not us as individuals. This is just a societal thing that's going on. And just around the world, America is ranked number 4th, right? With Russia being number 1.
Wow.
And so, those are just things that, we are not accustomed to, that, I think if a lot of people did know that, then they would have a different idea, of how that they could, manage that. And I think, one of the next questions, that we were going to go into, with that being said, is, what lessons have you learned, right? Now that you are divorced and you've moved forward and, friendships, whatever, just in life, what lessons did you learn from each other?
We'll start, Katherine.
I guess to communicate better, to listen and understand, and to try and be on the same page. I think maybe, and to trust your partner, because they're not always, that sometimes that green-eyed monster can go in there and work things in your mind that that aren't there. And so trust is very important. Yes. So yeah.
How about you, Nate? What are some of the lessons you pulled from your guys' relationship?
Well, one of the main lessons I gleaned from this relationship, from this situation itself, is that usually a relationship works better if you're both moving in the same direction. If one don't understand what the other one's doing, there can be a conflict which could keep one from concentrating and formulating ideas and the other one from being close to them. So you got this going back and forth, you bump in heads, and it breaks the whole relationships down. So you're not moving financially and you're not moving relationally, right? We've come to a point, from my understanding, of where we're heading. She can understand what I'm doing. As a matter of fact, she's doing some of what I'm doing also right now. And we get together sometime within the metaverse and we just sit there and talk, and stuff like that. We're getting along pretty good. We're getting along better now than we did before the breakup, right?
Yeah.
If it was still going like this before, if we didn't have the conflicts we had before, we may have still been married. But
well, and I was kind of sickly too back then. I was getting hit real hard with my fibro. That probably didn't help us either.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You are hitting on key points, financial, communication, health, right? Trusting, our mindset, plays tricks on us all the time, especially when it comes to that relationship part, where our past starts to, become our future, and we're expecting the past not to happen. But because we have not healed from those traumas, we haven't healed from those heartbreaks, we haven't, really gotten over them, we bring those forward into our new relationship, holding that new person to the old things or something that might have happened in the past. And once that train has left the station, it is very hard for that train to come back, because our minds will play tricks on us, especially in today's society. Oh my God, so much temptation, so much out there, and social media, so much out there, just to even put that energy and that vibration out there for you just to pick up, where it's more easy now to have that butting heads, other than the love, the kindness, and the respect in a relationship, like it used to be back in the day. It used to be that way. Nowadays, that's not happening, right?
Well, and it comes down to, like David shared, the breakdown of communication, as you guys shared. It's we have lost the ability to communicate just in general with people. I know we were talking to Nate earlier today, and he was communicating with us simply because he, like you said, you learned one of the biggest things here in this is the communication, and he communicated with us like, hey,
slow y'all ass down.
T, and go. I'm understanding you're going too fast. And that's something I know. I have a lot of information, and I just fire hydrant the information. I do it to David, and he's just like, okay, got it, babe. and we can relate. We've been together for 11 years and we know exactly what you guys are talking about. We didn't have trust in our relationship. Now he's got passwords and everything to all of my social media, everything. He's actually answering half of the DMs that you guys get replies to, but there's nothing that we hide in between.
And vice versa.
Vice versa. I've got all of his. I mean, half the time he's like, Tara, what is the password to this? I'm like, well, let's look on our sheet because I don't remember. And that's the point is, if you would have asked us that in the beginning of our relationship,
You want what?
absolutely not, because there wasn't that trust there. We had not built that communication. Communication was our weakest point. We argued about finances. We argued about, anything and everything. And it was just because it was two headstrong people not willing to slow down, listen to what David was trying to share with me or vice versa, and actually try to understand what he's sharing. And I think that's exactly what you guys touched on was there was a point where, with all of these life things happening, communication broke down, and then we just kind of lost touch in the sense of we had, mistrust pop up because of the mind. And we know, look, the mind is the scariest place we can be because we create everything in the mind. It's not really that scary out in this world, but we create it that way. So, we applaud you guys. First of all, to be here, I'm going to segue into our last question here, but we applaud you guys for being dynamic human beings of who you are now, to sit here and have a conversation about like what we enjoyed about and to openly talk about, well, this is where the breakdown happened.
Yeah.
I think to be very honest, we would get a lot further as a society and a world if we actually had those conversations, but we're too stuck in, I don't know, maybe ego, pride, our way of being, look, I'm 40, David's 39. So we're a few years behind you guys. And what I would say by that is you guys have lived a little longer and understand that, communication is everything. And I think one of the biggest things that, you have more lessons and life lessons than we do under your belt to just understand. And one thing I think that, I would love to hear about you guys talk about now is, what is it about your relationship now when you're friends, that you're no longer married to each other? What is it that you love about each other now? Why is your relationship so much more dynamic now than it was towards the end of your relationship?
Well, I think it's probably because we don't have to worry about working at a relationship. We're just friends, and we don't have to worry about what is that word I'm looking for? Impressing or anything the other person. We just are who we are, and but he like just this morning he was bouncing some things off of me. I mean, this is how just text whenever we feel like it. We don't have to worry about, I don't have to say, what is he going to think if I do this or if I go someplace? We just are friends, and that's it. That's what we do. I mean, what do you think, Nate? Am I getting it?
Yeah, I think you're getting it. You're hitting the point. My point of view with that is that, okay, we're getting along better now because, as Katherine said, we don't have predisposed thoughts of how the other person should be, expectations of what we're looking for, right? We're coming together as we are and dealing with that in that way. Because she has her thing that she's dealing with, and even though we're moving in the same direction right now, she's dealing with her thing and I'm dealing with my thing, and we're still able to come together and talk about it and move forward in what we got to do. We don't have to worry about somebody saying, well, you got in too late, or why you don't call me so regular, you don't call me anymore, or I don't like them shorts you got on, they're too short, stuff like that. We don't, and I'm talking about her talking about me. No, we don't have to worry about that. And one of the other things about it is she'll laugh at my jokes. You know, I love that. She laughs at my jokes. She makes me feel like I'm a proper comedian sometimes. So kudos, Catherine. We work pretty good with that.
I have a bonus.
We're gonna have to talk about these short shorts.
I have a bonus question, and it's not about the short. My bonus question would be, now that you guys have been, and we didn't share this with you guys that we were going to ask you this, but it's very much in a relationship, and it just sparked because Nate, what you said was, you know, how much more kind of in sync you guys are now because of the less, there's not the unexpected expectations. You don't have that expectations of
No
how
pressure.
yeah, no pressure at all. You know, the bonus question would be,
Who this? New phone.
for any advice that you guys would share for anybody who watches this, might be someone who is looking to get in a relationship, maybe somebody who is already in a relationship and is like, I want to murder my significant other because it's not working. We've all four have been there.
Yeah.
Not probably murder, but you know, just frustrated
Speak for
because
yourself.
yeah, David's like, you speak for yourself. But frustrated. We've all definitely felt frustrated in our relationship before. What would maybe be some of the advice that you would share that, and what tipped this off, Nate, was the fact that you said you really appreciate Katherine because she laughs at your jokes. And that's really important, you know, to find out what that other person needs, you know. So what would you guys suggest would be some great things for anybody listening?
Okay, you want to try first, Catherine?
No, you go ahead.
Okay, that's one. We can agree on who's going to do what when. You know, she has her freedom to do what she want to do, and I have my freedom to do what I want to do, and we're moving forward in that direction. And another thing is, I'm about to reach a blank here. I don't want to do that, but plans. You know, like when you got your plans and stuff, you work on your plans to level yourself up, and you will be more acceptable to that other person because they're trying to level up too, right? If one is not trying to level up and the other one is trying to level up, that's where conflict comes in. But if you're both doing what you can do in order to level up, you're making yourself more presentable, which makes you draw closer together because you're both increasing in your self-worth. You're understanding yourself, and the other person is understanding that you're understanding you and you're understanding them, and vice versa. So that way you can move forward in that aspect. You know, about the best
One
I
of
can
the
handle
things
it.
I would say is understand one another's love language. You have to understand the other's love language because everybody doesn't have the same. So that's probably one of the big ones, I think.
You went back to old
Because
school.
what one person considers love, the other one might not.
You went back to old school one on that one, huh? I remember you talking about that before, the love language. I remember that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that's very important because maybe one person thinks giving gifts is love, providing a roof over your head is love, but another person thinks, well, if you dance with me at night in the living room, that's love. You just have to understand what the other person considers love.
Yeah,
That's what I would say. Understand your love languages. That's my biggest thing.
What about if you play Farmville with me at night and stuff? Is that cool too?
Yes, that was very cool. I love that. I love that we were side by side with laptops playing together on the computer. That was just so much. I love that. That was our thing.
Right. I enjoyed that too.
Yeah.
You actually hit the nail on the head when you talked about, you know, it's the 5 languages of love. And we used to do a lot of conversations around that on Clubhouse when we would share more. And it's really important. It's important to find out what fills your partner's tank. You know, it's the simple things. I was actually getting ready for this podcast tonight, you know, thinking about some of the questions we were going to ask you. And I thought to myself, this exact question. I was like, you know, it's about time for me to ask David a new refreshing, because we check in with each other every once in a while, you know, and say, hey, you know, now that you're in a new season, because we definitely do have new seasons, you know, not only as a couple, but as individuals. And that's really, you guys are touching on it about the freedom to be your own human, your own identity, and something that David and I touch in on each other once in a while. And we also retake the 5 love language test quiz every once in a while, because it changes. I know that for a long time, mine was affirmations, hearing words of affirmation for David to, you know, share about how proud he was of me, or anything that I did that he was like, oh, wow, you know, your design work is incredible. And now it's funny because he's gotten so amazingly awesome about, you know, supporting me and giving me words of affirmation. It's like he's filled my tank, that's not what I need anymore. So now when he fills my tank with the words of affirmation, I'm like, thanks. But it doesn't hit like it used to, because he's been able, and what it really is, because I had to do my own work on this, is he's helped me heal an area that I was lacking. And I'm not saying that that's what for everybody is, right? But for me, the words of affirmation was something I lacked growing up. And David helped heal that with me also doing my work. So, man, I give you guys so much kudos for, I mean, we met you guys through the metaverse. So again, to all of our audience that's listening, you got to get in metaverse, because there's some really cool people you get to meet and, you know, become friends and family with, like we have here with Katherine and Nate. But something that was just kind of funny to me was, when we first met Nate, he's like, oh yeah, my ex-wife. Oh, let me go get my ex-wife. And I was like, oh,
like that?
Like, okay.
He's like, oh yeah, my ex-wife just bought over my building. I was like,
oh yeah, I was just talking to her this morning.
All right.
And we realized in Nate, the way he was speaking about Katherine, he spoke very highly of you. And it was just because at the end of the day, he cherishes your friendship. At least that's what it came across to us. That
he does
cherish your friendship. Don't want to put words in your mouth, Nate, but I'm sure you do. And it was very, very refreshing, because I think all too often, and we have a friend of ours, a dear friend of ours, that's got to go through the big D right now. And I don't think it's going to be this lovely that you guys have afterwards. And
not at all.
And it comes down to communication. Communication stopped a long time ago.
Yeah.
And now,
and we talked about, you know, the 5 love languages, and a lot of times people don't know what it is. I didn't know what it is. And so we encourage you guys to understand that the 5 love languages, you know, are quality of time.
We got it right here.
Right? Giving gifts, right? Acts of services, words of affirmation, and then physical touch.
Yeah.
And so you can definitely find out, you know, what your significant other is and work off of that. And there's multiple things that people, especially in relationships, tend not to understand, that there are workbooks, there are resources, there are classes, there are, you know, applications that can help you with your relationship, but yet we choose not to do that. And a lot of the times, you know, especially nowadays, we're spending our time, you know, trying to figure out a way to get out of our relationship, other than, you know, having the relationship right there and fix it. Because what we found is it wasn't the other person, it was us, it was me. And once I was able to communicate better with myself, once I was able to love myself better, once I was able to, you know, really have that conversation with myself, then that's when I was able to have a true conversation with everybody else and love everybody else like I love myself. And that's what we remind people. So yeah, I just love the fact that you guys, you know, have split ways and been able to still communicate and collaborate together like you guys are both, you know, in our Hello Fam.
So we want to do something really fun.
Yeah.
This is a little game that we do at the every end of our podcast. Yeah. But we're going to change it up a little bit. It's called our Fast Five. We're not going to talk fast, Nate, don't worry. But it's our Fast Five. It's our Fast Five. And it's just asking simple questions about to get us so we can get to know you better. But the way we're going to twist this around, because we have you two, we're going to ask the other person what the other person's favorite is. So for instance, we're going to ask Miss Katherine, what is Nate's favorite color?
Oh, blue.
Ah, okay. Nate, is that right? Not that we're trying to compare.
Well, if you want to classify blue as being like an earth tone. I'm basically in the earth tones, like, brown.
That's right, I forgot.
Brother always got to be
Always
joking.
so
Come on, earth tone. You
sophisticated.
can't spell earth tone. You talking about earth tone.
Hey, that's what it is.
But E-A-R-T-H, I can spell earth. I have been a truck driver, but I can spell earth.
Right.
So Nate, what's Catherine's favorite color?
Yeah.
Since she said blue, I'm gonna say blue, but I know she like to wear a lot of dark colors too.
Yeah.
See, I'm in black today, but it's not my favorite color. I'm like him. I like the earth tones, browns, beige, the warm colors. Yeah.
Yeah.
We're both like that, and we both didn't know.
Yeah, right. Wow.
Okay, so Mr. Nate, what is Catherine's favorite food?
Whoa, that's deep.
Catherine doesn't know
I actually really
Favorite
don't.
meal?
I'm not quite sure, to tell the truth. I know she used to love those DeBella subs. She was into that
Oh,
pretty
yeah,
good.
I did. Yeah.
You know, but that's all I can really think of right now. I don't remember what we used to order like when we went to restaurants and stuff. I know she's not into, well, she's allergic to seafood and stuff, and that's like my specialty. So I don't know.
You don't
really
like
don't know.
Chicken wings.
Was
Miss
that?
Catherine, I don't know if we can talk
Yeah.
anymore. No,
Yeah.
I'm joking.
You mean to tell me?
Like,
that?
I
Chicken
love
wings.
it. I'm just allergic to it.
Yeah.
All right, Miss Catherine, what's Nate's?
Nate likes I remember when going to the buffet with him, he likes the crawfish and he likes fish. I would say fish is his favorite.
I love it.
Is she right? Is she right?
Oh yeah, I'm a Florida
Ding,
boy.
ding, ding, ding,
I'm a
ding.
Florida boy. I gotta have the fish.
Hey, you and me both, and I'm from Idaho, so I'm on my way. Catherine, what is your favorite food, Miss Catherine?
Chicken wings.
Oh, I was
I
gonna
like
say that.
chicken wings.
You forgot that. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I like chicken wings.
I do too. We don't eat chicken anymore, but I do too.
Don't tease me like that, Miss
That's-
Catherine. Don't tease me.
I'm
Like
sorry.
I'm gonna have to make cauliflower wings here.
that. Tasty.
Hey, if
Okay.
you know about that, tell me. I would be interested in knowing how to make cauliflower wings.
I'll send you a
Look
recipe.
no further.
They're
Please.
wonderful. Yeah.
Because I'm trying to change over. So yes, I'd like to know.
I love it. Okay. So Miss Catherine, last question we're gonna ask here is
Okay.
what was one of Nate's dreams that he shared with you when you guys were together?
That he wanted to write a book.
And he is,
Yeah.
and he has.
It's done.
Yep.
Done. All right,
Yeah.
Mr. Nate, what is one of Catherine's dreams that she shared with you guys while you were guys together?
I kind of picked that up about her too, that she wanted to write a book.
And I am. Yeah.
Ah, see, that was good. Yay! I got
Y'all are just a match made in heaven.
Hey, look, they might,
David said they might get back together. I said, well, we're not playing love connection.
Nope.
We friend connection. We
Yeah.
friends.
it. Right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Promote friendships.
but
Yeah.
we appreciate you guys playing our game.
Yes.
You both are up to amazing things in what you're doing, not only in metaverse, but outside of metaverse with your story, with your energy. Both of you, being well over 60 and still kicking, still pushing. And that in itself just blows my mind that when we talk to entrepreneurs that are, half, a whole lot younger than you and don't have the inspiration, don't have the drive. And yet we talk to both of you and you consistently have that drive. We can't talk today
We
at
can't
all.
talk today.
And it is so encouraging for both of you to really just say, you know what, this ride ain't over, baby.
Nope.
And we're gonna ride this bad boy to the end. And you guys are giving it your fullest. And I applaud you both for doing that. So if you would please, Miss Catherine, tell people where they can find you at, where they can learn more about you, what you got going on. Talk to us.
Okay, well, right now, I can be found on Facebook too. And I can also be found in the metaverse. I didn't open my store is kind of sort of open. There's no grand opening or anything, but I do have a store in there. It's called Catherine's Gifts, etc. And I have 3 different businesses right now in there. So one is for food, one is for health, and the other one is for health. And the food is healthy too. So that's where I can be, and on Instagram. I can also be found on Instagram.
I love it. What's your handle on Instagram so people can look at you?
Oh gosh, I think it's Katherine_L_Carter.
Yes,
Perfect.
correct. Yes.
Yes,
And
yes.
last but definitely not least, Koolaidnate LLC, brother. Tell the people where they can find you, what you up to, what you got going. Talk to us, brother.
Okay, y'all can find me in multiple places. Start out with the metaverse. You can find me in the metaverse at Koolaidnate LLC, the store. You can find me in you can find me online at Koolaidnate.com. I just reopened my blog at Koolaidnate.blog. You'll be able to find me on there. I'm on Instagram, I'm on Twitter, I'm on Facebook, I'm on Pinterest, starting YouTube together, so I can pretty much be found on there. And if you go on my website, there's different places that you can find me on there as far as emailing me and most of my social media. Just
It's
by
biz in
going
the box.
Was it?
It's biz in the box.
Biz in the box. There you go. And
There you
I
go.
appreciate you guys.
Websites are old. We don't do websites. We upgrade. We build
Right,
automation. We collaborate. That's what we do.
It's got it going on because you can see that same interface on the I call it electronic business cards. The what is it, the QR code or RQ code, whatever. You can find it on that. You can find it on my Koolaidnate.com. It all boils right down to that and show you everything I'm into, my Amazon, my business in the box, as you said, and the nitro nutrition, feed the kids, the hungry kids and stuff. We're humanitarians, we like to take care of the kids and stuff when we can. All of that stuff is included in there, and I'm getting ready to try to figure out how I'm gonna get a clothing line out there.
It's already done. Sorry, you're not trying to figure it out. It's already done.
We just
done.
gotta help you get it done.
All right.
So his merchandise line is coming soon.
There you go. Merchandise line is coming soon.
Kool-Aid ain't no drink, it's an attitude.
It's an attitude.
There you go. There you go. That's
the first shirt.
It's spelled with a C, not a K, because it's not a drink, it's an attitude.
I love it.
I'm getting one of those shirts.
I love it
right now.
That's what it's going to say. That's what it's going to say on it.
That's what we're going to say.
And we want to encourage everybody to also, we heard Miss Katherine is writing her book, so when it drops, we're going to share more information on that. But right now, Nate does have the ability, so you can get a free copy of his first chapter of his book. You can actually go out to his business in the box at Koolaidnate.com and scroll down. You will see the first chapter there. You can download it. It's an instant download. All Nate just asks is to plug in your email in exchange for the first free chapter of that. And then his book is actually currently shortly about to enter the publisher. He's finalizing that right now. So it will be published here very soon. So that way you can get the full book here and learn all about Nate's adventures. And I have a little hint, y'all. I'm pretty sure there's going to be Adventures of Koolaidnate 2 and probably 3 at some point. So you guys definitely support these two amazing individuals. I want to be where you guys are when I am your age. And so thank you. Thank you so much for being inspiration. If you don't know that you're inspiring others, please know that you've inspired us to not only make sure that we share with other people that you can be friends after you've been in a relationship, and also just by the action you guys are taking in life at your age. 100% honesty, my mom is the same age as Nate, and I see my mom's up to cool things. She does her things that makes her cool, but I see Nate take more action than most 70-year-olds ever thought, and that's no disrespect to other people, but it's just inspiring to see someone who says, you know what, I don't care that I'm on the back half of this, whatever you guys call a life. I'm going at it full tilt. And so kudos to both of you. And just thank you for being here. We appreciate you.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you. Thank you.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Well, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, we want to thank you all for joining the Getting Naked podcast, where we keep it real, raw, funny as AF. As you can see, nobody else got naked. This was just a real conversation with us being authentic and really just having great conversations. And, you know, we share with people, our story is your glory. Our story is your survival guide and or somebody's medicine that they need to hear for today to move forward. And more than anything, we encourage you all to take bits and pieces of of something that each one of us said and input that into your life, right? Because we talked about the money, we talked about the health, we talked about communication, we talked about trust, and all four of those things impact people's relationships with themselves, number one, and with each other. So we encourage you guys to improve on that, because that's what we do. We raise people's vibrations. So with that being said, love,
Kindness.
and integrity. Until next time, we'll see y'all soon.